Yo, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Moses here, and today I'm bringing you an Arc video build guide. So let's get right into it. Arc. Let's go over the links. We have Arc, Empower, Control Destruction, Innervate, Faster Casting, and Increased Critical Strikes. On the gloves, what we're using for single target are shaped gloves with slower projectiles and faster casting. We're linking those with ball lightning, which is going to be our single target damage, spell echo, added lightning, and increased critical strikes. On the helmet, we have Immortal Call, Warlord's Mark with cast when damage taken, as well as Blood Rage. Blood Rage is self-cast, as you can see. It is not triggered because it has high level from cast when damage taken. On the boots, we have Fortify with Summon Stone Golem that receives Fortify when it melee attacks. Faster attacks and Leap Slam, which will be our movement skill. Over here in the chest we have impulses. Bear in mind this could totally be a 4-link. It doesn't have to be 5-link, but the impulses that I wanted already had 5 links. So, you know, I just liked it because of its stats. So we're using Curse on Hit with Herald of Ice, Herald of Thunder, and Assassin's Mark Curse. As well as Empower to increase the damage of Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice. And yeah, provide +2 to Assassin's Mark as well. Decoy Totem helps dealing with single target. You know, it draws aggro, and that's pretty much it. For the rest of the gear, we're taking Pledge of Hands because of the because of the fact that I wanted to play a build with Pledge of Hands. That's how it all started. It has 160%, up to 160% spell damage. This one has 158. Pretty good. As well as Socketed Gem support by level 30 Spell Echo, which gives us tremendous cast speed. On the gloves, you already saw the faster casting, proj, slower projectile, as well as cast speed, projectile damage, big resistance rolls, and I was able to craft maximum life roll here from the Haku levels. I don't remember. Either way, these are the gloves. On the belt, just the resists life and strength. To add more life, I crafted with 1 divine orb, additional movement speed here. This jewel, physical damage to spells, some life, cold damage to spells if you're wielding a two-handed weapon, and increased damage if you've killed recently. On the boots, I just have a lot of resists, a lot of life, and movement speed, as well as the enchant adds cold damage if you've been hit recently. It's a good enchant, but preferably what you want is increased attack and cast speed if you've killed recently. The Uber Lab gives you a 16%, so if you get the enchant while doing Uber Lab, you get 16% increased attack and cast speed. Berg's Grip gives us the leech, life leech against shocked enemies. We are dealing lightning damage, and this is a crit build, so we're going to have a lot of crits, a lot of shocks, and we're going to be able to leech. The ring rolls 30 to 40 life, as well as 1 to 50 to 70 lightning damage to spells and attacks. Try and get something with 65 or higher on that maximum roll. You can use a couple of divines, and you can roll the implicit to 16 cold and light res on this Berg's Grip ring. The impulses, you want the 10%, 5 to 10% of their maximum life as lightning damage. This gives us tremendous clear. Monsters explode with lightning, dealing AoE damage that cannot shock, but you know it's quite massive. So we want that 10%, as well as at least 45 increased damage if you've shocked an enemy recently. Really want that high value. This chest also has reasonable life roll and pretty low increased effect of shock. On the helmet, we want increased arc damage. What I did, since these are pretty rare, like, I don't know, arc is not a very popular skill, this helmet was 5 chaos. I ended up spamming, I don't know, maybe 300 chaos until I got something I needed. So 305 chaos this helm cost me with the arc enchant. For the amulet, we're using Biscos for farming, and when we're doing the boss, we want something with a lot of damage, modifiers to arc, cast speed, spell damage, lightning damage, crit multi, crit chance. Those are the damage mods that we're looking at when we're looking for an amulet. Over here, the second ring, we have an essence worm with wrath that does not reserve mana because of essence worm, and it adds big lightning damage and a big more multiplier for our spell damage increase. Flasks, we have staunching, bleed removal. We want our instant flasks here. I use 2. Alternatively, I'm thinking of using Vessel of Vinctar with damage added, lightning damage added to spells. The thing about Vessel of Vinctar is that you can only use it once, and then it needs to fully charge the entire flask. So you have only one use out of that flask. It's quite okay, you know, but for now, I'd rather just have double instant flasks for you know, quick recovery. At series promise, make sure you get that gain 15% of elemental damage as extra chaos damage. That gives us a nice DPS boost. The physical roll doesn't matter since we're not dealing any physical damage, as well as this flask gives us a nice chaos resist, which helps us with Chiola breaches. Here we got a heat diamond flask. Prefix doesn't really matter all that much, but yeah, heat to remove slows, freeze, and all that stuff from cold effects. I would normally rather use a heat flask on a duration flask rather than a life flask, because life is instant, and then when your life is full, it you know, it ceases the activity, the duration of the heat, so you can get frozen again, then you have to use the flask again. This gives us 4.8 seconds of immunity from freeze effects and all that stuff. Warding, same idea, removal of curses on a silver flask for onslaught, which gives us attack and cast speed. When it comes to the build and leveling up, we're using the Templar. Our ascendancy is the Inquisitor, mostly because of inevitable judgment, which makes critical strikes completely ignore monsters' elemental resist, and well, non-crit penetrate 10% of elemental resist, which is also nice, but mostly that crit ignores resistances is pretty huge. Even with the low tooltip, you'll be dealing massive damage. Because of that, because we're constantly critting and ignoring those resistances. Yeah, so when it comes to the order of the ascendancy points, we go normal, righteous providence, cruel, and then merc, and then Uber Lab. We use that. Alternatively, you know, you could do whatever you want. No matter what you do, go to inevitable judgment as quick as you can. So as soon as you finish cruel, you should have these points allocated right here. When it comes to leveling, we start off as a Templar. We pick up the elemental damage, spell damage nodes, go down, pick up a discipline and training, elementalist, as well as light of divinity and devotion. We do not pick this life node just yet. We just go to devotion, and then we rush quick recovery, heart and soul without the mana and life node. Pick up Lightning Walker for a little bit of damage, Annihilation, and then up through the intelligence nodes, Cruel Preparation, ignoring these points for now. And then we start moving down to the area of the shadow. We're ignoring the Throat Seeker cluster for crit multi, we're ignoring Crackling Speed, and we're just rushing to Written in Blood and Doomcast. Remember Doomcast to pick up the spell crit multi rather than the crit chance. Excuse me. And yeah, right there we go to the intelligence node, rushing towards the life nodes, all the way down, picking up some dexterity, acrobatics, and phase acrobatics, which will be our layer of defense. When we get acrobatics, you can go and pick up these crit nodes, trickery, blood siphon, and then after that blood siphon you can go and pick up herbalism. And that's basically when you're going to be around level 70 or so. At this point, you're going to start filling in the blanks. If you purchase some jewels that you prioritize, you can go and pick up these jewel nodes and insert those jewels into these sockets. Get your coordination and life node here for the attack and cast speed that we're getting. And then get your... what did we miss? Big stuff that we missed are going to be most likely Throat Seeker and Crackling Speed for additional damage, and then this crit multi with Heartseeker with crit chance nodes that we're getting over here in the Ranger area. And then you're just basically filling in the blanks. You pick up instability and spell damage per power charge. At this point you're going to have 4 power charges. There is another power charge opportunity over here, but requires investment of 3 points. You know, 1, 2, and 3. I don't know if that's really worth it. At the moment I'm not using it, but of course it's up to you. The build is pretty open. I also decided to go into +1 to max frenzy charges. I'm still debating. I do like it because I get the 18% increased frenzy charge duration. Without it, it lasts for 10 seconds. With it, you know, for about 12 seconds, which, you know, makes mapping a bit more smoother. But I might unspec here and pick up some life nodes instead. I am currently level 88, so, you know, there's still room to grow. Up to level 95 XP is pretty easy. It's at 95 that we're getting all these nerfs to XP and all that stuff, and things get a bit rough. So 7 more points, I guess I would invest in this life node, and then probably, you know, there's a big lightning circle over here that we can spec into for more damage. So the options are there. There's also, you know, some elemental, some cast speed options, some spell damage nodes over here as well. It's an option, but I think I would just go towards Breath of Lightning and Heart of Thunder to finish up the build if I would go and push with it. But yeah, this is the build, this is the tree. Yeah, we got a jewel node here. Let's go over the jewels. A big enabler for the build is in fact a Watcher's Eye with lightning damage leached as mana. The second property of the Watcher's Eye doesn't really matter. But that lightning damage leeches mana is very important because that's what allows us to sustain and be able to, you know, use our spells. Without it, we just won't have enough mana. Of course, we're not running in Mana Flask, and we're reserving a big part of our mana because of Herald of Thunder and Herald of Ice that will instead run, you know, 50%. But there's a 40% multiplier on them because of Essence Worm, as well as 125 multiplier because of Empower, and I'm still able to run it. Remember, you don't have to run Empower on a 5-link, it's just that I happen to have a Pledge of Hand 6-linked, and, you know, the chest came as 5-link when I bought it. I think it was like 100 chaos. It rolled really good stats, so I thought it was worth paying for, and you know, it had a 5 link. I ended up utilizing this socket for empower, just a little bit more damage. I'm not gonna go, you know, overhead and invest in a you know, level 4 empower. I just think it's not particularly worth it. I think I talked pretty much about everything. Bandits, we help Alira. Alira gives us, I believe it's 20 or 15 or 25 crit multi and resistances and a little bit of mono regen, which is irrelevant, but mostly the crit multi and the resistances are definitely worth helping Alira instead of 2 points. But of course, it's up to you. If you feel differently, you can pick up the 2 points and give up that crit multi and resists. Yeah, so jewels. We talked about Watcher's Eye with the leech while affected by Wrath. Other than that, what I did was I bought fairly cheap jewels for about 20 chaos with 3 stats that I needed, and then I exalted them. Okay. I also put a pretty big emphasis on attack speed with these jewels. So I'm missing a little bit of damage on my jewels, but I have a lot of attack speed, so I can use Leap Slam pretty quickly. Of course, it's not very quick when we're using it right here, but you know, when you have Blood Rage on, you gain the damage. You're getting the attack speed. You're getting the attack speed bonus, and notice that with, you know, even with Blood Rage, I'm not really losing all that much life because of the Golem. It gives me life regen. Okay. So, I mean, we're going to be able to sustain when we're attacking. Of course, we're leeching constantly and we're healing up, so this type of damage that we're taking from Blood Rage is negligible. So yeah, but when we're getting the Blood Rage and the Frenzy charges from Blood Rage, we're going to have 4 Frenzy charges, which means, you know, 16% increased attack and cast speed. Or is it 20? I'm not entirely sure if it's 4 or 5% per Frenzy charge. I'm pretty sure it's 4. But either way, we're going to get a big attack speed boost, and we're going to be able to Leap Slam quickly, and with the increased duration on Frenzy charges and +1 should last us until we meet the next pack. So the build work quite nicely. You know, things you can't really do with this build are, you know, no leech maps because we're leeching. No regen could be a bit of a struggle because you won't be able to Leap Slam. Okay, so I don't recommend going no regen, but 60% less regen, 40% less regen, 20% less regen is fine, no problem, as long as we're able to generate some mana to be able to consistently cast our spells and Leap Slam away, we should be fine. So no regen is a no, but could still be done most likely. I just don't really recommend it. And reflect. Elemental reflect. Physical reflect is irrelevant, but elemental reflect we cannot do since it's gonna kill us. Other than that, I can't really think about maps. Of course, minus max is always dangerous, increased crits, turbo, all these mods are scary, but you know, should be able to deal with all of them fairly well with our setup. Another downside is Arc itself doesn't have a very, you know, doesn't have a very good DPS against single target, so we're using Ball Lightning, but Ball Lightning as well is not amazing. Okay, so it's just like, I happen to have these gloves, I use them, but if you find a different alternative, feel free to use it. Yeah, for single target we are going to struggle a little bit. This build is not designed to do Guardians and all that stuff, Shaper. It is designed to kill maps and have fun, and I was able to do pretty much every map until I believe it was the highest one I did was tier 13, so definitely able to do red maps, and you know, pretty fun build overall. Arc is actually quite nice. So let's find ourselves a tier 11. We can do the Spider Forest. I got 23 of them. None of them is rare. Any of them superior? Nope. Alright, let's grab one of these and see what's up. So elemental weakness. I'm okay for elemental weakness. You need 109 resists, and I have a warding flask, so I should be fine. What else we have? 2 additional projectiles could be a bit rough. Reduce damage from crits and power charge on hit. So double breaches with Zana, and let's kill some stuff. Yeah, everything gets popped, impulses, destroys, you know, explosions deal nice AoE. The build overall works, and I'm very, very, very happy with it. You know, because I never kind of like really played a build with Pledge of Hands, and got me the opportunity to do it, so feeling quite happy about the build overall. Notice that we have our power charges and frenzy charges happening as well this entire time, giving us a pretty hefty DPS increase. We can put a totem right here when there's like an abyss or something, so the big monsters won't hit us. We can put that decoy totem here, create distraction while we're killing everything else. Seems good. Pick up this jeweler orb right here. Yeah, it's quite sturdy, that decoy totem. Wow, there's like a lot of abysses. I'm not going to do all these abysses in the video. I just wanted you to see kind of like how it looks like. We're getting a trove. Alright, let's pick up these 2. And the belt. I'm gonna skip the abysses. I want to go into a breach and then kill the boss. Of course, you guys know I'm streaming every day. Gonna be playing with this build for a bit. Breaches, where are you, man? So yeah, Leap Slam is a bit funny, but overall, I mean, we can't use the shield charge, so you know, it's the best we can do for now. As you can see, the build just simply destroys all the abyssal monsters. I mean, all the breach monsters. Feels pretty good. I mean, clear speed is nice. Just one shots. Fun times. And the breach is over. Pick up that. We got some of these here. Alright. Alright, Blessing of Chill for 300 cows. Seems good. Let's get back to him later. Okay, let's go find the boss and wrap this up. Okay, now for the boss, we're gonna swap the amulet for damage. Gonna open up a portal in case we die. It's just things that I do. Gonna put the totem and basically melt the boss down with ball lightning. Feels good, man. Yep. That was the map. This was the build. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you everybody for watching. Make sure to come and visit the live stream. I'm streaming here every day on Twitch. Hope to see you guys there. Thank you for watching.